Welcome everybody to another video with Horrified Gaming. I'm Patrick and this is 5 tips to help you overcome the biggest hurdles facing new independent developers today. So let's get right into it without further ado. Here we go! Alrighty everybody, this one's gonna hit home for me too. Uh, you might be asking yourself what makes me qualified to delve into this subject. I'm still brand new. Well, I've seen these hurdles and I'm right in the process of overcoming them. So it gives me that unique perspective of I know where you're coming from. So uh, first things first, if you're new to the channel, get down there, subscribe because I've got some awesome content coming up. We've got tutorials for Unity. Um, we've got new fun videos with behind the scenes of me developing my game. I mean, I'm going to really get into the fun stuff and really have fun with it and show you guys just some of the stuff that I do to keep myself entertained while I'm doing the game. So subscribe and we'll get into all that. So first things first, we've got 5 tips here that are going to help you overcome the biggest hurdles that a new game developer experiences. Okay, so keep watching till the end because number 5 is really deep. So let's start off with number 1. Number 1, and this is the biggest one that I faced in the very beginning, limited funds. As an independent game developer, you're not coming in this with millions of dollars of backing. You're not coming in this with even thousands of dollars of backing. You're probably coming into this with a computer, either Unity or Unreal or whatever engine you're using, or maybe you're developing from scratch. But you're coming into this with limited funds. You're not coming into this as a big business. So how do we overcome that? How do you overcome that hurdle? And this one, I think, is one of the easiest ones to overcome nowadays. If you look at the Unity Asset Store, all right, the Unity Asset Store has thousands upon thousands of assets, and a lot of the assets on the Unity Asset Store are free or very inexpensive. Okay, I've gotten packages for $1. Okay, my next game is going to be crazy horrifying. It's going to be set in an asylum that I paid for on Unity Asset Store $1, and it's a complete, fully set up asylum environment. So all I've got to do is animate the doors and enter in my content, and that's it. You know, it's kind of a ready-made environment. And there's other stuff out there. There's sounds. There's environments you can get for free or very low cost. So now Unreal, I haven't played with Unreal because Unreal's a little bit not my speed. Okay, it's a great engine, and if you can work with it, that's great. I mean, you got the C++. I'm better in the C# environment, but your Unreal Engine has its own store. Also, it's got some free assets. It's got some lower cost assets to higher cost assets. I think from what I've seen, the Unreal Store has a little bit higher cost assets than the Unity Asset Store, um, but it's not all that much difference. I mean, you could still get some fantastic assets, relatively inexpensive. Excuse me. Um, so that's the biggest hurdle is getting those assets and bringing them into your project, using them. Of course, each person that makes these assets has their own different requirement. I mean, some will require a quick mention in the credits saying, "Hey, thank you for this." Some don't require anything at all. You don't have to do anything. It's no copyright involved. And others, you know, would like you to put their name on your site wherever you publish the game. You have to look into that. Of course, there's legal issues. That's neither here nor there. Uh, it's the legal issues are very minor uh, in indie game development because it's so easy to find information on how to properly give attribution, and we want to give credit to the people that help us out. So it's not really a big, huge deal. Just make sure that you're keeping an eye on that. Also, even if you need 3D models, there's tons of stores out there, or tons of stores out there with 3D models. There's tons of places out there with free 3D models that you can download and import into your project. It's a little bit more difficult than just getting it off of the asset store because that's a ready-made asset that's already ready for Unity uh, or Unreal or whatever. But it's still easily doable. I've got content in my game right now that comes from all over the internet, from free sounds to whatever, and I just pay attention to the copyright. If it's public domain, I use it. There's nothing really that I have to do about it. But if it's if it needs attribution or whatever, then I got to give credit, and I'll give credit where credit is due. Absolutely, 100%. No problem. So utilize that stuff. Use it to your advantage. I think I have over 20 packages that I have in my game right now that I'm utilizing pieces and parts from to bring together one game. So definitely, that's the easiest way to overcome the limited funds. Now, that's not even delving into down the road if you want to publish on Steam, paying their fee or whatever else. That's a whole different story. That's not where I'm going with this. This is new, actually into developing the game. So later on, we'll delve into that sometime in a later video, or I'm sure somebody's already covered how to, go that route. So that's number one. Number two is another one of my biggest hurdles right now, and that is limited exposure. Okay, limited exposure is going to be a problem because you're just starting out. Nobody knows your name. So how do we overcome that? How do we overcome that limited exposure that nobody sees what we're making? How do we overcome all that? Well, there's several ways, and some of the ways that I've been working with right now with my demo of the Deadly Maze is you post it on game sites, first of all, that get a lot of traffic. GameJolt, itch.io. If you're looking to go directly to Steam, you can publish a demo on Steam. Again, I'm not into that sort of piece of it because I don't plan on launching on Steam for a little while until I have a much better handle on this because I'm still really brand new to this, and I mean like green. So, but itch.io, GameJolt, IndieDB, get it up there where you've got traffic. Next is advertise. You've got social media from Reddit to YouTube. I've got trailers on YouTube. And that's a whole other animal, trying to get views on YouTube. We'll talk about that in a minute. You got, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Get yourself out there. Take screenshots of your game, post them on Instagram while you're still in development. Don't wait till you release the game and then start advertising before, while you're still in development, because if you advertise while you're still in development, then you're going to get that exposure that you need when you launch the game down the road. So definitely, as soon as you start developing a game, as soon as you start working on the game, as soon as you get that final idea in your head and you actually start pushing forward with the serious work, start getting it on social media. Take screenshots while you're in development. Get on Instagram, get on Facebook, update people on your development. Hey, I had a lot of fun today just putting this feature in my game. Get people interested. Start getting a following. YouTube. I had a couple early game development videos that they didn't really get many views, obviously, because I was not even aware of how to deal with YouTube. I'm starting to get a lot better. I'm starting to kind of cycle it in, dial it in. I'm sure my subscribers and my views are gonna go skyrocketing here real soon, um, just because of all the work I'm putting into it. Take the time to put work into it. YouTube is a fantastic avenue to get your name out there, get some exposure. Put up a YouTube channel, okay? Really delve into some how-to videos on how to use tags, how to write a title, how to write a description, how to structure your video, stuff like that. And if you just post videos of gameplay, and if you just post videos of little development tidbits that you're working on, that's perfectly fine. You don't need to be a mega YouTuber. Now, that's where I'm trying to go, but that's just because I'm having so much fun doing these videos. I'm very passionate about it. But if you just want exposure for your game, you really want to delve into your game and your game design and where you're planning to go with that game. And that's fine. But do your research. Get those YouTube videos to get some views because that is the key. If nobody's seeing them, they're not doing you any good, right? So that's the second piece of it. So next is definitely advertise on GameJolt's forums, advertise on itch.io, IndieDB. Really put your name out there. Go play some of the games that are on there. You know, some of the free games, download them, play them. Follow some of the people. Like some of their content. Comment. Be active. Because when you're active with social media, people see that and they see your name. They start, you know, asking questions about you. Hey, who's this guy? Who's this new person? Let's check it out. They start checking you out. They start learning a little bit more about you. Describe your goals in your company, your developer page on the Game Jolt and the itch.io. Describe yourself or your goals and really get people to interact with you. Okay, so overcoming limited exposure is just a matter of hard work. Okay, if you ask any independent game developer ever in the history of independent game development, okay, and I've talked to a few, I haven't talked to Babe, I've talked to a few. Uh, Exposure is the first. You know, everybody's going to have exposure difficulties. You just got to push through it, and you've got to put in the hard work. Okay, if you're just doing this as a hobby and you just want to, hey, throw up a game and just throw it up on the App Store, or do a mobile game or whatever, and see how it goes, that's one thing. But if you're seriously trying to develop into a independent game developer that makes money and whatnot, then you really need to dial in on the exposure and really try to push yourself out there. The next, number 3, our next hurdle is you gotta stay motivated. You have to stay motivated. Okay? Staying motivated is a big, big, big thing. So I look at it this way, okay? I find my biggest uh, focus, something that motivates me. Okay, you're not gonna be a star overnight. Uh, Definitely not me. I mean, if you look at my YouTube channel right now as I'm recording this video, I've got 10 subscribers. Okay, that's it. But the key is, I know that I'm going to have more. I'm focused on getting to that point where people know who I am. People will hear the name Horrified Gaming and they'll be like, oh, they're awesome. And I know that's coming because I'm focused. And that keeps me motivated to keep moving forward and keep developing the game, keep working. Okay? I've already released the demo. I developed the game for 2 months, and after 2 months I released a demo with the first 2 levels. Now there were some problems. It was big issues in the beginning. I tweaked it, and then there were a few smaller issues. So I've done 2 updates to that demo, but it got out there. Okay, I went out, I got it out there because I was motivated, and you can do the same thing. You just have to stay motivated. Find what motivates you, whether it be being that household name, whether it's just putting out a game that your friends and people you know are going to enjoy. Whatever your motivation is, whatever you want to accomplish, keep that in your mind. Focus on it, and don't get out of focus. Keep moving forward. You're going to hit rough spots. You're going to hit dead ends in the game. I spent 4 hours one day trying to code one event, and it was not working no matter what I did, and I got so frustrated. I put it down for a minute. I stepped back. I came back, and I found one little piece of code that was out of place. Or one thing that I didn't turn on, or this or that. Yeah, you're gonna have hurdles, you're gonna have rough spots, but keep motivated to keep moving forward. Don't get discouraged. Don't let doubt seep in, because if you doubt, it's gonna show. So keep moving forward. Stay motivated. Okay. Now number four. Number four is something that any independent game developer will 100% tell you is absolutely true. In order to be successful as an independent game developer, you must be able to overcome your biggest weakness in relates to game development. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that if you are a 3D modeler and an animator, you can't code, or you'll have to find somebody else to code, or what. No, what that means is you need to take what your biggest weakness is, what holds you back the most, and turn it into a strength. So, my personal weakness, I cannot do any 3D modeling to save my life. And as far as animation, forget it. Other than animating a basic door function or something simple, it ain't happening. I am not an animator. I'm not a 3D designer. It's just not who I am. I am more of a level designer, okay? I put elements in, I make them work together. That's what I do. That's my strength. So now I know that, so I take the assets that I downloaded off the asset store, that I got from other people, and I take those assets and I make them work together. I can do that. I'm very good at making things work and coming up with ideas and making flow, and I was never good at coding. Coding was my biggest weakness. Besides 3D modeling, coding was my weakness. So I had no coding experience when I started. Through Unity tutorials, through C# tutorials, through hours and hours of trial and error, I can code what I need to code for my game. And if I need to learn new code, I can learn it fairly quickly if I really set my mind to it. The information is out there. So never, ever, ever, ever get discouraged if you can't do something that needs to be done. There's always somebody out there to help you, whether it be a Unity tutorial, whether it be a 3D modeling tutorial if you're looking to get to do that, an animation tutorial, other game developers. Like I said, I've only talked to a few, and not really that much, but from what I've seen on forums and just the way that they interact with each other, the independent game developer community on the whole is very helpful, very willing to help you. I've put a few questions on the Unity answers section, and I've gotten the answers I needed. And so don't be afraid to ask if you need help. Just try and take this piece and take this piece and put it together. overcome your biggest weakness through gaining knowledge and using your strengths. Okay? So you don't get discouraged, and don't think that just because you can't write a single word of C# coding or C++ coding, or you cannot for the life of you figure out how this and this can interact or whatever. Use your strengths to fix your weaknesses. Okay, and another example I can give is you're a coder. Say you're a coder. You've done HTML, PHP. You just love typing code. You can use that to your advantage. Okay, somebody like me, I have to put everything in the scene, and I have to have it a certain way, and I have to make it interact through small scripts. You might have that coding genius, and you can sit there and you can code. So all you really have to do is have the assets in place, and you can pretty much do everything else by just coding it. So use your strength to overcome your weakness. That's the key to overcoming your weakness. So now, before I get to number 5, I want to remind you one more time, subscribe, like this video, okay? Subscribe to my channel, hit that bell so you'll get notifications when I upload new videos, because I'm going to be coming out with some Unity tutorials soon. I'm going to be coming out with some fun videos behind the scenes of the Deadly Maze. My developer diary series kind of ended prematurely, but I'm going to restart that, get some more videos going on that, and we're just going to have a lot of fun out here, and I want y'all to be a part of it. So like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and just keep the interaction coming. And so before we get to number 5, I want to ask one quick question, and I want you to answer it in the comments below once we get through to number 5. That question is this: which one of these 5 tips is your biggest weakness? Is something that's plaguing you the most? So whether it be you you have limited funds and that's your biggest hurdle right now, or you have limited exposure, you have trouble staying motivated, you have difficulty in overcoming your weakness, or your number 5 is really plaguing you, put that in the comments and let me know, and I will reply back. And hey, who knows, maybe this video will help you overcome that, and I hope it does, because that's why I'm doing it. So now, without further ado, number 5, the one we've all been waiting for. This one is going to be deep. Number 5, you need to get into the right mindset. The biggest thing that is going to derail your development of your game, your overcoming any of these other hurdles, is your mindset. You cannot go into this thing with the wrong mindset, okay? We all want to make money off our games, but we can't go into this thing thinking that we're going to get rich quick. Number 2, or the second part of that is, you cannot go into this thinking that you're going to just everything's going to run smoothly and it's going to be easy. It's not easy. It's hard. Okay? I'm brand new still, and I know that right off it's hard. It's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Yes, it's easier than I thought it was going to be. Yes, it is quite simple to use Unity and to use the Unreal Engine and whatever else. But here's the thing: you need to go in with the right mindset. Just don't try to do too much. So I went to the Golf Academy of America for a semester back in 2014, and I took a course called Attitude and Motivation. And one of the things that they told us in that class is that only you can affect how you feel, how you think about yourself. So you got to go in here with the right mindset, with a positive attitude. You've got to tell yourself, hey, I can do this. Tell yourself that you're going to be the best developer there ever was. You have to go in with that mindset, okay? You have to keep telling yourself that you're going to succeed. And the only way that you can get through the day and you can get through the game and then you get to the top where you want to be is if you have that attitude. Okay, you look at the greatest developers out there. You know, they all have one thing in common. They all knew they could do it. Businessmen, Steve Jobs, Donald Trump, whether you like him or hate him, uh, all the big ones. You know, if you're a WWE fan, Vince McMahon. You look at all these big names in business, and they all have one thing in common: a positive attitude from the beginning, from the get-go. And that is the only way that you can succeed at anything you do. And it's the same with this. You have to keep a positive attitude. Okay? This one here is probably the one that I'm most qualified to talk about. And the reason is I've done many different things in my life. I've tried to do things in my life that have not succeeded. And looking back, the one thing that killed me on everything that I failed at is I did not have a positive attitude. Well, that's not the case here. I can tell you that my attitude is 100% positive. I know I'm going to have a multi-million subscriber YouTube channel. I know it's going to happen. How do I know it's going to happen? Because I'm going to make it happen. That's how I know it's going to happen. And you need to be the same way. I know I'm going to have multiple games out there that are making me many, many millions of dollars. Eventually, one day, it will happen. And the reason it will happen is because I'm going to make it happen. That is the attitude that I'm talking about. You have to know without a doubt that you are going to make it happen, or you will not make it happen. You have to have a positive attitude. I cannot stress that enough. That is why I saved that for last. That is why I told you have to wait till the end of this video. You have to come and focus on number 5, because number 5 is the key to every single one of those other ones. All of them. If you don't have a positive attitude, you're not going to be able to overcome your limited funds. You're not going to be able to overcome your limited exposure. You're going to get discouraged easily. You're not going to be able to stay motivated. You're not going to be able to overcome your weakness because you're just going to keep focusing on your weakness. So if you don't have a positive attitude first, then none of that other stuff is going to be able to work. You're not going to be able to overcome any of it. So this is the key to success right here. And the key to success is to have a positive attitude. Okay? So tell yourself, I'm going to succeed. I am going to be the best developer ever. I am going to be the greatest YouTuber ever. Whatever your motivation is, whatever your goal is, you need to keep positive attitude, and you need to believe without a doubt that you can make it happen, that you're going to make it happen. Okay? Because if you keep that attitude, then you will make it happen. So, keep a positive attitude. Download assets to overcome that limited funds. Get yourself out there on social media from the beginning, before your game is even out, during development. Stay motivated. Find your focus point and keep focused on it. And without a doubt, overcome your weakness with strength. And most importantly, stay positive. Because if you stay positive, you know you can do it. I know you can do it. Everybody sees that you can do it, and you will do it. So that's it. That's my 5 tips. 5 of them. 5 tips for overcoming your greatest hurdles as a new independent game developer. So give me a like. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. You're going to see tons of content coming soon that's going to help you as an independent game developer. It's going to help you in Unity, and it's going to showcase my work that I'm doing to get to that next level where I need to be. So we're going to grow together. So for now, this is Patrick with Horrified Gaming. I'm out.